All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome in. My name is Alexis Miller, and I'm one of the yoga instructors here with Yoga for Caregivers. So, this is our weekly stretch session where we focus on getting into our bodies, stretching ourselves out, getting us ready for the rest of our day and the rest of our week. So, as you move through practice, keep in mind your boundaries. Notice, where are you ready to extend into postures? Where do you need to modify and come down to the mat? Or perhaps just find your center posture. Also, keep in mind, I don't often cue water. So, if and when you feel thirsty, of course, please feel free to step off your mat, grab that drink, and then join us whenever you feel ready. So, with all that being said, let's go ahead and come into a comfortable seat. Your legs can be crossed or they can be straight out in front of you. You can be sitting up on a prop. I'm on a block, but you could also be on a bolster or on another cushion or just down on the mat. That's great too. We're going to wiggle back and forth and root into our sits bones, and then we'll sit up nice and tall. Let's inhale as those shoulders come forward and up, and then exhale as you drop them back and down. One more time. Inhale, shoulders forward and up. Exhale, back and down. Bringing your hands into a comfortable space, so they're on your knees, palms up or down, or in your lap. Gently closing the eyes if that feels comfortable, or simply finding an unmoving point and softening your gaze here today. If you were to associate a color with renewal, what color would it be? Answers will, of course, vary, but for me, I've always felt it's the softest of spring greens. It's the color of the stalks of spring flowers like daffodils or snowdrops that have seemingly overnight popped out of the ground, or the first tentative leaves that appear on aspen trees when the weather finally warms enough to support their presence. Green is often associated with spring, which is a literal renewal of the earth after winter. We see plants resume their growth, animals return from their hibernation, and the sun resume its prolonged presence in the sky. With renewal as the theme for this practice, I invite you to imagine this gentle yet vibrant green light permeating your body. Let its gentle warmth, much like that of a spring sun, warm your body and guide your actions. And let it fuel whatever renewal needs to take place on the mat and in your life. So settling in, taking a deep inhale through the nose, filling the belly, lungs, and chest with air. And slowly exhale that breath back out. Take another deep inhale, fill the belly, lungs, and chest with air. And slowly exhale that breath back out. Take another deep inhale as you feel that belly expanding outward, filling completely full of air. Exhale as you draw the belly button in toward the spine. Inhale as you feel your torso expand, your collarbones gently lift. And then exhale as you feel your shoulders release down and away from your ears. Inhaling air in the nose, down the throat, filling the lungs. And exhale all of that air out of your lungs, feeling it move up your throat and out your nose. Continue to breathe here, inhaling and exhaling with intention, really noticing the movement of your breath. And if your mind gets distracted by a thought, a noise, a physical sensation, it's okay. Simply notice the breath has gone away and then turn your attention back to the breath, back to focusing on the inhales and the exhales. If it feels right for you, perhaps incorporating a mantra here to help you stay grounded and focused on the breath here. Inhale, I welcome. Exhale, renewal. Inhale, I welcome. Exhale, renewal. Remaining here with your breath in whatever way best supports you for just a few more moments today. Take another deep inhale here. Setting an intention or a purpose for your practice today, which really can be anything at all, but it often answers the question, why did I get on my mat? Take another deep inhale as you feel that intention with the heart and mind. And then exhale that breath out as we set the intention off to the side, knowing we'll return to it toward the end of our practice. Lovely. Let's go ahead and move that prop out of the way, setting it out so you have lots of space on your mat. Your legs can be crossed or straight out in front of you. We'll inhale as we sweep our arms wide, bring them up overhead, cast the gaze skyward, and then exhale, drop that left hand down to the mat, step it about a foot out to the left, and then lean over to the left as you reach through those right fingers for your seated side bend. So gently pressing into that bottom hand to keep the right hip, that right sit bone rooted down onto the mat. Really reach through those top fingers, feel the pull through the entire side of the body. This bottom elbow can come down to the mat beneath the shoulder if that's accessible, but it's an option. Of course, it's not a requirement. Wherever you find yourself, just taking a couple nice deep breaths here. Gaze can be off toward the side or maybe up toward the sky here, really opening that chest even more. Ooh, you can tell this is getting the wiggles, getting that sleepiness out of me today. One more deep inhale. Good. And then exhale, go ahead, come back up into center, both arms tall. And then on the next exhale, go ahead and drop that left hand or right hand down to the floor, step it about a foot off to the right, and then lean over to the right, reaching through those left fingers, seated side bend. So we're pressing into that bottom hand so we keep that left hip bone rooted down onto the mat. We're reaching through our top fingers, feeling that pull through the side body here. And again, that bottom elbow can come down to the mat beneath the shoulder as we reach through those fingers. Gaze can stay off toward the side, or maybe you turn it up toward the sky. Just noticing wherever your breath is at today. A couple deep breaths here. Good. Inhale, come back into center. Both arms sweep tall. And then exhale, bring those hands down to center. Great work. We're going to go ahead and come into Lord of the half fishes pose. It's a very complicated posture for a really nice twist here. So we're going to go ahead and bring the soles of our feet to the floor. Knees are up in little mountains. Step your left leg out. Bend your right knee and bring that heel to your glute. Now, if this is not accessible for you, feel free to just extend that leg long out to the end of your mat. So curling that foot around if that's what you're doing today, and then taking that left foot and stepping it to the outside of that right leg. So now we're kind of in this pretzel pose here. Right knee is out in front of us here, and then left leg is pointing up toward the sky, or knee is pointing up toward the sky. We're going to inhale, sweep our arms tall, and then exhale, twist over to the left. Bring that right elbow to the outside of the left knee. Press that arm into the elbow, rotating deep into the spine. Left arm comes down to the mat behind you on the mat here. Right palm is up, palm is open and toward the sky, and then, or toward the side, and then maybe curving that head all the way around as far as you're able. So you're getting that twist all the way up into the neck here. Just a couple deep breaths, feeling that pull through the shoulder blade, twist through the spine, maybe even a stretch in the hips here since we're kind of in this pretzel-y posture. Good. One more deep inhale. Exhale, release. Let's go ahead, sweep all the way over to the right, plant the hands on the mat, bend at the elbows, lowering the torso down just for a counter posture, counter movement, and then inhale up into neutral. Great work here. All right, we're going to go ahead and change that posture. So go ahead and step that left leg out. Bring that right sole of the foot out and then bring that left heel in here so it's nice and close to the glute. Left knee is straight out in front of you. We're going to step that right foot to the outside of the left leg here. Again, that you can be here or that left leg can be extended straight out if that's better for your body. We'll inhale our arms, sweep tall, and then exhale, twist over to the right. Bring that left elbow to the outside of the right knee. Press into that knee as you curve your head and nose around for this nice seated twist. So again, left palm is open toward that right side here, and then that right hand is down on the mat behind you, curving the nose around. Taking a couple deep breaths here, really feeling that stretch through the neck, through the low back, maybe that pull in that left shoulder blade space. Good. One more inhale. And then exhale, gently release. Hands just come all the way over to the left, plant them down, and then bend at the elbows like you're doing a yoga push-up, and then come back up into neutral. Great work. Go ahead and uncross those legs here. And we're going to come onto hands and knees for just a moment. Tuck the toes under, bring your feet so they're about hip width distance apart. Grab a block, you may need it. And then we're going to sit back onto our heels here, coming into Japanese T-pose. So we're sitting up nice and tall. Our hips are down onto our heels. Our toes are tucked under, so we're getting a stretch through our feet. Now, if this does not feel good for you, you can always just come up here and gently lean back as far as you're able. Great option. Another option is to bring that block down between the feet on one of its sides. I have it on the high side, but you can choose a different one and rest down on that block like it's a little seat here. This is a pretty intense posture. If you have not done it before, you're welcome to take a modification. However, I do invite you to sit in this posture for as long as you can until I release you, because we want to get that nice deep stretch through those muscles in the feet, through those ligaments, all those tendons. Our feet do so much work for us. They literally get us around everywhere. And so we want to take this opportunity to stretch those muscles out. And if we've never done this before, it may feel like fire is rising. Our feet are going to fall off. I'm right there with you. Let's just take a couple more deep breaths here. Hands come into a nice relaxed position. Shoulders are shrugged down, looking forward, maybe closing the eyes. Let's take a nice deep breath here. Great work. Open the eyes. Go ahead and come onto the hands and knees. Untuck those toes. And let's go ahead and tap the tops of the feet out on the mat. Just reassuring yourself that your little toesy woesy still work. Maybe rolling those ankles around in one direction and then another. Just releasing here. Maybe doing a little shakeout. Okay, feet still working? Great. So hands come beneath shoulders, knees come beneath the hips. Go ahead, pick that left foot up and then extend that left foot out to the end of the mat. Drop that foot down to the mat. Step your hands about half a handprint forward and then exhale, press into the hands and spike that heel away from the body. Shoulders are shrugged down, core is engaged. Now notice if you have a cow back, a U in your back, tuck the tailbone. So like you're rolling it down to the floor behind you, engage the core and look down toward the floor so you get that nice stretch through the calf here. Good. Couple deep breaths. Great work. On the next inhale, go ahead and step that left foot forward here. And then we're going to sink right into a low lunge. As we do, make sure that knee and ankle are in line with one another. So if you have to heel toe your foot forward, make sure to do so. We inhale up into neutral and bring our hands into heart center. Now you are welcome to stay right here. This is an excellent option. Otherwise, on the exhale, rotate over to the left. You can stay right here. Option, drop that right elbow to the top of the left knee. Press that left hand into the right hand so you're lifting the torso. Notice how I just lifted my torso, deepening that twist through the spine and the opening through the right hip flexor. You're welcome to stay here. Final option, we make it a power pose. Tuck the back toes, lift that back leg, spike the heel away from the body, press the eye of the knee toward the ceiling here. Good. A couple deep breaths wherever you are today. Feeling that pull through the side body as well as into that right hip flexor and right thigh. Nice twist through the spine here. One more deep inhale. Exhale, go ahead, drop the back knee, untwist here, shift your weight onto the back knee, straighten the front leg, flex the front foot, hinge forward for just a breath into dragon. Feel that nice pull through the back of the left leg. Great. And then go ahead and come forward onto that left foot before stepping it back onto the hands and knees here. Great. We're going to go ahead and take a block and place it by our feet on the right hand side, reaching that left arm back. So like we're going to reach down for our block, and maybe you start on the high side. It can be on a lower side if you want. We're going to inhale, sweep tall with that right arm, reach up toward the sky as we reach back, arch back here, and that left hand comes to rest on the mat. We're here in modified camel, pressing the hips forward, feeling that pull through the front side of the body. That right hand is spread wide. Allow that thumb to lead that arch here. Good. Nice deep inhale. Nice deep exhale. Lifting through the torso, shoulders shrug down. One more inhale. And then exhale, sweep that right arm forward to bring you back up. Move your prop out of the way. Sink back into a child's pose. Lower the forehead down to the floor. So we get that nice pull through the low spine, a little counter posture here. One more deep breath. Let it go when you're ready. Great. And then inhale, go ahead and come into neutral. We're going to come onto that opposite side. I'm going to rotate around. Hands beneath shoulders, knees beneath the hips here. We're going to bend that right foot or right knee so the foot sticks into the air. And then exhale, extend your right leg straight out behind you. Ball of the foot comes down onto the floor. Step your hands about half a handprint forward. And then exhale, press into the hands, spike that heel away from the body. Great work. So again, notice if you've got a U back. If you do, tuck the tailbone so it's moving down toward the floor. Engage the core, look down toward the floor between the hands, shrug the shoulders down. So now we're feeling that stretch through the calf, nice and deep. Let's take a couple deep breaths here together. Great, deep inhale. Exhale it out. And then inhale, come up into neutral. Let's go ahead and step that right foot forward, coming right into our low lunge. Again, making sure knee and ankle are right in line with one another. We inhale, lift the torso, hands come into heart center. So again, you can stay right here. Option is to exhale, rotate over to the right. You can stay right here. Option is to bring that left arm to the top of that right leg and then press into that right hand, lifting the torso, deepening that twist through the spine. You can stay right here. Final option to spice it up, turn it into a power pose, tuck the back toes, lift that back leg, spike that heel away from the body, press the eye of the knee toward the ceiling. Couple deep breaths here. Breathing. We're feeling that pull through the left side body into the left hip flexor and down to that left thigh. Feeling that deep twist through the spine and the challenge in the legs here. Inhale, gently untwist. Back knee comes down to the floor. Lower those hands down. Shift your weight onto that back knee. Straighten the front leg. Flex the front foot. Exhale, hinge at the hips. Press with the heart center. Just a little counter pose here in dragon. Feel the pull through the back side of that right leg. Great work. And then inhale, come forward onto that foot before stepping the right foot back onto the knee. Again, grab your block here, place it back by your right foot, okay? And again, maybe it's on the high side, maybe you know you want it on a lower side or not at all, okay? We're gonna reach that right arm back like we're already reaching to grab that block, and then inhale, we'll sweep up with the left arm, lifting back, lower that right hand down, coming into our modified camel, opposite side. So as we lift up, reaching through that top arm, palm is open and wide, reaching through the torso, feeling those hip bones press forward, arching through the spine. Couple deep breaths here, trying not to lock out that right elbow, just a slight bend there. Good. And then inhale, left arm sweeps forward to get that momentum moving forward. Go ahead, drop that block down, sink back into a child's pose again for that counter posture. Feel that lengthening through the spine, especially the low back space here. One more deep breath. Great work. We inhale, look up between the hands, come onto all fours, and then exhale, tuck the toes, lift the hips into your down dog. Shoulders are shrugged down, pressing into the mat, moving the chest toward the thighs, heels reach toward the floor. Good. Tuck the chin, look between the legs. We take a nice deep inhale here and a nice deep exhale. Nice deep inhale. Nice deep exhale. Inhale, we look up between the hands, baby step those feet to the top of the mat, come right into a halfway lift, knees are slightly bent, torso is parallel with the floor, back flat, shoulders shrugged down, hands on thighs or shins, gaze is toward the floor here. So it's like you're in an upside down L. Take a nice deep inhale. And then exhale, sink into your forward fold, tuck the chin, look between the legs. So allow the arms to either hang limp, you can palm the mat, or bring pinkies to opposite crooks of the elbows. Another option here is to inhale, sweep those arms up around behind you, interlace the fingers and rest them on the sacrum. Maybe this is enough of a heart and shoulder opener for you. Otherwise, on the next exhale, allow those arms to come up off the back as far as they're able, feeling that gorgeous, gorgeous stretch through the shoulders, through that heart center here. Leaning forward under the front 2/3 of your feet, you should be pretty light in the heels. Crown of the head reaching down to the floor. We're breathing nice and deep here. One more deep inhale. Exhale, release those hands down toward the floor. Bend the knees, flatten the back. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Those arms sweep wide and up. And then exhale right into heart center. Great work. We're going to work on our balance a little bit here today before we wrap up our practice. So coming into our tree pose, you may have done this with me once or twice before. So we're going to go ahead and start by grounding down into our left foot here. And we're going to bring the heel of our right foot over the ankle. Knee is sticking out to the right. There's just a very slight bend in that left knee. You're welcome to stay here. Lovely option. The next option is bring the sole of the right foot to the inside of the left calf or the inside of the right thigh, but not on the knee joint. We don't want to move that joint laterally. It's a very important joint, as we all know. So notice where you're at here with the legs. Hands can be a couple positions. Maybe they're on your hips, down at your sides. If you'd like, you can start with that seedling, right? With that spring, that renewal. Maybe you start right here. If you'd like, as you breathe slowly, maybe start to renew into that large tree, growing your branches, noticing as the winds of change blow, it might knock you down here. So growing those arms wide, growing those branches, reaching up, spreading those fingers wide here. Finding that tree pose that feels good. Woo! And if you have some breezes that are knocking you around and to and fro this spring, allow those arms to move to help you with that balance. Find an unmoving point, soften the gaze here. Take a couple deep breaths. One more inhale. Exhale, gently release, come down onto the mat. Great work here. If you're a little breezy like me today, no problem. Shake out that left leg as you need. Maybe roll the ankle in one direction and then the other. Nice job. And then let's come on to the opposite side. So start with that right foot down onto the mat, knee is slightly bent, and then bring that heel so it's over the ankle here. Great. This is a great place to stay. Do feel free to be right here in the sapling pose. You can also have your foot to the inside of your calf or perhaps the inside of your thigh. Whoop. Notice that one side may be a little bit different than the other. We just don't want our foot on our knee, so we're not moving that leg laterally, that joint laterally. Again, maybe the hands are best served on the hips, down at your sides, or perhaps you would like to have them have them at heart center here. Maybe you'd like to grow from that seedling, returning back into that full blossom that we start to see here during spring. So inhaling and exhaling with intention as you grow the branches of your tree, finding that nice length through the spine, reaching out through the fingers. And then again, taking a couple deep breaths here. And if you get a little wobbly, allow those arms to wobble with you. Help that or use them to help you keep your balance, remaining on that right foot. Just a couple deep breaths here. Woo. If you step out, that's okay. Just return to the posture. Inhale. Exhale, release. Great work here. Go ahead and shake out that right leg. If you stepped out, no problem. So did I. That's why it's called a practice. So shaking out the legs as you need, stepping back to the top of your mat. We'll inhale our arms, sweep them wide and up. Exhale, we swan dive down into a forward fold. Inhale and do a halfway lift, nice flat back. Exhale, fold, bend the knees, plant the hands, step back onto your hands and knees, and then make your way into a seated position. We're actually coming down onto our back for final relaxation. So now is a good moment to grab a drink of water, put on socks or a jacket for final relaxation. We will not sit up for the rest of our practice. So coming on down onto your back, tucking your knees into your chest, wrap your arms around your body, giving yourself a little hug, maybe rocking from side to side for a little roly-poly action if that feels good. And then coming into stillness, drop the soles of the feet down toward the floor, and then getting ready for final relaxation. So knees can be up in little mountains here if that feels good for you. They can also fall open wide for reclined down angle. You can extend one leg and bring the opposite in for fallen tree, or you can extend both legs wide into traditional final relaxation. Find a spot for your arms that feels comfortable. It really doesn't matter. It's whatever you like. You're also welcome to roll onto your side or lay on your belly, or you can even return into a seated position and treat this final part of your practice like final relaxation. So wherever you are here, finding that spot that feels good for you, settling in, and then tuning into your breath. Begin to notice how fast or slow your breath is moving, how deep or shallow it is. Notice the quality of each breath on your inhales, the quality of each breath on your exhales. Feel into the gentle rise and fall of your belly, the gentle rise and fall of your chest. Just noticing the air as it moves in and out of your nose, up and down your throat. If your mind wanders off, it's okay. It happens. Celebrate the noticing and then come back to your breath. Come back to your inhales and exhales. If it feels right for you, perhaps coming back to that mantra that we use at the beginning of our practice. Inhale, I welcome. Exhale, renewal. Inhale, I welcome. Exhale, renewal. Remaining here with your breath in whatever way best supports you for just a few more moments today. I'm going to get quiet for this final part of my practice or your practice so you can have it to yourself. Please know that I am watching the time and I respect yours, and I will let you out of this posture before the end of practice. So lean back, let go, and rest right here. The Four mantras are magic formulas that can be practiced in daily life to help us connect with others, especially our loved ones. The first mantra is, I am here for you. The greatest gift we can give to others is our true presence. This establishes real connection. Bringing your attention back to this space, taking a deep inhale through the nose, filling the belly, lungs, and chest with air. And then slowly exhaling your breath back out. Taking another deep inhale as you begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. Move your arms and legs, gently waking your body up. When it feels right for you, rolling onto one side, pausing there with an arm or a hand beneath your head. It's here that I invite you to bring back to mind your intention or your purpose that you set at the beginning of your practice that answered the question, why did I get on my mat? Take a deep inhale as you make your way on up into your seated position, closing out our practice together today. So finding your comfortable seat, rooting into your sits bones, sitting up nice and tall. We inhale, the shoulders come forward and up. We exhale, drop them back and down. Hands come into a comfortable position, whether on the legs, palms up or down, in your lap or at heart center. Closing the eyes if that feels comfortable for you. We take a moment to express gratitude for yet another lovely day here on earth and our bodies that allow us to do so many things, including yoga. Thank you so much for allowing me to guide you through this practice today. It was a joy and an honor, and I hope you'll do so again in the future. The light in me, it sees the light in you. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me for this weekly stretch session with Yoga for Caregivers. Again, my name is Alexis Miller. I'm here every Wednesday at 9 a.m. Eastern, so mark your calendars, set your alarms. Make sure to follow Yoga for Caregivers on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube so you can see what other offerings we have, as well as check out all that Yoga for Caregivers is doing. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have a delightful rest of your week, and I look forward to seeing you in the next practice. Bye!